He's happy to be here. We're all happy to be here. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Quantum Dispatch. I'm Wanda Kalugba again. And tonight we are going to try and keep this short and sweet. We're talking about CCU games tonight. And we have a special guest for us tonight, Mr. Swanky Fisherman, who is very enthusiastic about learning the CCU game, all the tricks of the trade. And yeah, do you want to just introduce yourself and say hey?
Absolutely. Well, hey, first of all, I am Swanky Fisherman. I've been playing for about a year and a bit now. If I'd have known some things about CCUs about a year ago, I probably would have spent a bit less than I have already. And I'm very much looking forward to learning a little bit more about CCUs, how they work, and how you can save money. And it's almost like a mini game as well, by the sounds of things, and something you can get kind of addicted to at the same time.
Now, we have to say, although it can feel like a game, it's not a game. It's using your money. Could be wisely speculative at times. Some people do consider it gambling, so caveat. This is not financial advice, as I'm sure Eason and GFA will agree. Eason's actually the one that showed me the CCU game, and
I regret it.
I've become addicted.
Now I regret it.
It is your choice what you spend your money on.
Exactly. You know,
Absolutely
some
is.
people like I started back in 2013. Back then, ship packages were the thing, and you know, back then, yeah, I did buy things like a Karak. A lot of my friends at university, they go out for drinks and food. They don't have their money now, and they don't have whatever they invested in. But I still have my Karak. So you know, there is a positive side there. But do use caution. You know, we are literally paying for JPEGs. So yes. GFA, have you got anything to add to that? Like, what's your experience with it?
Yeah, look, listen, right? It's definitely not financial advice. I think we've all probably spent a considerable amount on the game at this point, and I have to actually echo what Spanky said. I wish I knew about it, or at least I understood it more back when I was really investing my larger chunks into the game. So I definitely could have saved some money from the ground up. Like, I'm pretty sure I've paid for an Odyssey outright with no chain because I was an idiot, and I probably could have saved a fair wedge of cash. So, yeah, definitely not financial advice, but something I would highly recommend considering, especially around the events that are occurring. What, twice a year? Is it 3 times a year the sales happen?
Yeah, so Invictus has just passed, and we have and Invictus just focuses on military ships, and then you have Alien Week, which is literally just passed, and then we've got the Expo at the end of the year, which is all ships bar some limited ships.
Saber Raven, Mustang Omega, Nautilus Solstice
Valkyrie
Edition.
Liberator.
Don't do this to me. I deliberately was not going to talk about that tonight.
I know you weren't saying it. I'm sorry. Please invite me for the next episode.
Right, so I'll tell you what, let's break it down for people. Let's pretend like we're brand new to this. So what is a CCU? Well, a CCU
not
is
much pretending from me, to be fair, but
Wait, are we all going to pretend that we're new to this? Because then we're all going to be like just googling and trying to find it out.
Google session.
Texting your mates in the Discord and Reddit. Is this a goodbye, guys?
I think one thing I would like to add is that you know, from how we kind of set it up, some people can look into this that don't have the experience, might go, oh, what have I done? I've already paid for all my ships. That's it. It's set in stone. Not necessarily. It depends what you have in your hangar. The end is not near. Like, you might be able to go in and sort of, we call melting ships, which we'll get into at a later stage, and you can use your store credit to get the ships back, but cheaper. For example, I was able to get my Perseus at about 50% off, and that was using a mixture of upgrades and install credit. And that
very
works
nice.
very well. So what is a CCU? It's called a cross chassis upgrade.
Chassis?
What's
a chassis?
Chassis, cross chassis upgrade.
I was about to say,
I'm addicted to ships. I didn't do English in school very well. Okay, so like, come on.
It is the cross chassis upgrade.
Yeah. So yeah, it's an upgrade. Allows you to upgrade to your ships. You can view the upgrade tab when you go to your hangar. And yeah, someone else take it from here. See what.
So we've got Kitten in chat who's trying to make me get GFA to spend lots of money. But as it happens, Kitten was in the same stream with GFA when I first started trying to teach him about the CCU game midstream.
Yeah.
It was brilliant. Right, so I have a screenshot from someone. I've just agreed with them. I'm not going to name and shame. They want to know how they could improve this hangar. It's a horror story. Don't get me wrong. So all of those.
It's not mine, is it?
No, it's not yours.
Hold on. I can barely see that because of the
let
quality
me
of the streams. I'm
zoom in slightly. This is slightly
enhance.
How'd you do it? There we go.
Hey,
That's a bit.
Reminds me of like
better.
NCIS, doesn't it? Where they're like
Okay.
enhanced photo, enhanced photo,
Yeah.
enhanced
Yeah.
Well,
photo.
I mean, there's some really good ships there. They're just, there's they paid full whack for them, which is sad.
Yeah,
but that means
we can discount these
yeah.
bottom two here because they are LTI. These are OC LTI ships, which means original concept, lifetime insurance. Some of these retain their value. Some of them absolutely boom in value. It's specific. I hope the stream can see my mouse cursor here. It's these 0% here that we would like to improve upon, shall we say?
Yep.
Yep.
So for me, when I'm going into this, it all depends on how you feel about insurance. I'm an advocate for LTI. We don't know what's happening with LTI. LTI stands for lifetime insurance, for those who don't know. Some people go, I don't care about that. I'm fine with 120 months. But, we don't know what it's going to mean down the line. And it might just be something like you get to save on your insurance for your ship. So I think that's something that you need to ask yourself, what do you care about? And if it is LTI, then that's going to cost you a little bit more in terms of real money, but we can get to that because you can buy these things called LTI tokens. I'm not sure. Am I going too quick?
Pulse. Pulse.
Pulse. Yeah, like the pulse that just came through. That was perfect. Like £25, I think that was, or whatever it was in US dollars, like $30. And if you upgrade, say, the pulse to a Cyclone MT, you would keep that LTI insurance on that ship. But I just let me know.
This is
how fast you want to take this.
We'll break down the fourth wall here. This is one of the reasons why we've waited so long before we've presented the CCU game, is because we can't quite work out which angle to come at it from. So yeah, because the CCU game is so starved at the bottom end, it's hard to give a good comparison for that. But say if we took something like mine's gone blank. Something like maybe a C1 sort of level, $110 if I remember rightly. From there, that is a good starting point. You get the discount from the store if you buy it from concept. You retain the LTI as you upgrade. Yeah, you're going to make some savings. But if you start from the bottom end, there's different ways to do this, isn't there?
There is, and you'll generally find more war bond deals for ships above sort of like the Cutlass Black level, and you'll find less for those that are under the Cutlass Black level. I think we noticed that they've released not only the Spirit but also the Zeus line. So I think there's that area where they're expecting people to pay up to, which is around about the $100 area, and they can say like that's affordable. We don't really need to give much of a discount. But if you're looking at end game ships like a Reclaimer for salvaging, or an Orion for mining, then you could apply upgrades to an LTI token. That means you could actually get. I mean, there's been some ridiculous discounts. I know one person in our org managed to get 82% off an A2, and the A2 is like $750. So 82% off that, and they'd been working on that chain. that CCU upgrade chain. They've been collecting all these war bond upgrades, which is what you have to purchase with real money, but you get sort of like a $20-$30 discount. But it's with new money, and they're able to sort of like go, yeah, I've got that for a ridiculous price. There was a mention about someone getting a Karak for, what was it, like $90, I think?
90 was the previous record.
Yeah.
I
That's
think
insane.
I think it's very, very key to say, and forgive me if we've already said this, I don't think we have, because this is the one thing that catches out so many people, because they hear about the CCU chain game and they think, oh, it's great, it's free or save money, cheap. And I think the one thing that is like really key to say before anything really is that it has to involve new money. It
Yeah.
has to involve new
Yeah.
money.
Yeah.
So if you've already spent a certain amount in the game and you don't want to spend more, the CCU chain is completely useless to you unless you're going to melt down. But regardless, actually, no, no matter what, the way you save your money is through war bond purchases, which means you have to put new money into the game regardless. It may only be £6.50 or £9.50, and suddenly you've got a ship that's £50 more than your previous ship, because that's how the chain works. It's those incremental increases and small amounts. But regardless of that, you have to put new money in, and not everyone's happy to do that. So I think it's very key. It's key to have that statement in here, because if that's a stepping off point for you, even if it's like an extra $10, let's say, if you don't want to put another penny into the game, it stops there. Like, there's no point of you listening to the CCU chain game if that's the case, because it's irrelevant. Like, you do have to put new money in, and I think that catches a lot of people out, because I've tried to talk to people through the CCU game before, and then halfway through they're like, hold on, so I have to still put new money in? And I'm like, yeah, but it's a tiny amount for a huge upgrade. And they're like, I'm out, I don't want to put new money in. So that's a key thing.
100%.
Yeah, I think adding to that as well is there's the classic caveat of you don't actually have to buy these ships with real money if you don't want to. You can just buy a game package and get these ships in game.
Or go to Bar Citizen and answer a question right, and you might win a giveaway.
Absolutely.
or smash
Several.
like and subscribe on GFA's area, because I think the giveaway's still coming up. Is that right?
Yeah, I've got three to do. I'm just trying to get the videos out to accompany them.
Just can't give out enough ships.
I know.
Yeah, exactly. But I want to add on from what GFA was saying, that it definitely requires new money, and I think it's not just about money, new money. It's also patience. Like, you're only going to get a really good amount of discount if you are patient, and not everyone is, and that's completely understandable. However, if there have been cases where people gone, I've got an LTI token for $25. It's great. I've paid you money for that. I've just upgraded it to a Karak. Why is that not 50% off? And it's like, well, that's not how it works. You didn't really do your full research there. And whenever you're spending money on this game, do your research and really do check out stuff before you pull the trigger on something, because in order to get those big discounts, you need to use tools like the CCU game, which is a great tool that's really fleshed itself out in the last year or so. And you can chain up upgrades like 5 to 10, and that's when the real rewards start coming in. The Banu Merchant's a good one. That's like $750 now, and or 650, I think. I can't remember.
I think 650 at the moment.
650, cool.
I think.
I'm thinking it's going to go to 800, but when that came out, it was at 250, and people have bought upgrades for it back then, and they're applying them now, and then they're applying on a Perseus Warbond upgrade, and then a Polaris Warbond upgrade. So there's people out there getting like Polarises for like $350 when it's worth however much it is. So if you enjoy this game, tune into this episode right now, because if you enjoy this game and you'd like to spend a bit of money on it, this will help you. This will help you make your money go further within Star Citizen.
To get your fleet for less.
Especially if you want a big fleet, then this is key. I'm going to take you back to a previous point, though. It doesn't always involve new money, because you can use store credit if you've melted before. And that's where prospective purchases can come into play. So say, for instance, we've seen the price increase with the Hull C when it released of $100. So we can anticipate that when the Hull D comes out, that will also get a $100 increase.
It depends on the insurance. If you want LTI, it definitely requires new money. If you're fine with 120 months insurance, you could buy a package with install credit.
No, I'm just talking about the individual CCU, which you can prospectively buy with store credit.
Yeah, it's only for the war bonds again. Oh, that's what you mean.
Yeah.
If it's a price increase, then you can absolutely capitalize on that. But just if we kind of rule those out, because that's a bit of a. I kind of think that's a bit more of a gamble because it's a bit of it's guesswork. Like it's not in stone.
Yeah.
You're literally like, oh, it might go up in price, or it's an educated guess, right? You're sure it's going to go up in price, but until it's on paper, until you know, it might not be a smart move. That's I don't know. That's how I sort of see it.
Like one of the ones I got was again, this was from I showed One Dark my fleet in the CCU game, and it was very exposing for me. Of just I put it in there, and he looked at it, and I can't remember the noise exactly, but it was something like his soul hurt from looking at my fleet at the time and how little and how much I'd spent on these ships instead of actually saving on them. And he goes, "We've got a lot of work to do." But like I spent with store credit like an upgrade from, because you can go on all ships, and just pick upgrades from ships to ships for like up to an Apollo from the ship that was before it, because from what I understand from what One Dark was explaining, the Apollo may go up in price when it's released, so therefore that might be worth more and get you more of a jump, which will save you money on a future ship, for example. At least that's how I understand it, in my very limited experience of this, from what One Dark explained.
So the other side to look at it is you've put an X amount of money into the game. You've got these ships at the high price point. If you can melt them down and start proceeding up that chain again, whilst you're saving money, you're going to end up with more ships for your buck, which is fantastic. It means you get to sample more of the game loops without having to do all of the grinding game, without having to ask in public chat or in your org, say, "Oh, can I borrow this ship?" And then you take it out, crash, whatever, and then you have to get them to come back and pull it out again. And yeah, I remember the first time using a mole that wasn't mine, just smashed it straight into yellow.
Yep.
So yeah, there we go.
So yeah, no, definitely. CCU game, I think definitely would be worth flagging that.
If I could give an example, then tell me how. So here's a current conundrum I have as someone who doesn't understand so much. I got my Polaris, right? And I was very happy with it. Cool, got my Polaris, wicked. I'm looking on the site now. Because I did it at IAE, where there was a nice discount on it. I had what is a £720 ship for £677. I saved 7%. How could I? So that is meltable. I can't get rid of that. How could I, if you were to look at that, how could I then melt that and then start again? What would you do if you had that to change that and end up getting it cheaper?
I would say, One Dark, if you're able to pull up the CCU game site and just go for a Polaris and we can step through it, because I think there's a few war bond
That's not a bad
ships
shout
at the moment.
It's like I had it ready. Wow.
Oh, look at that.
So here we go.
It was planned.
Here's one I made earlier.
So
right on cue.
This is the CCU.app website. This is an invaluable tool when it comes to utilizing this CCU game logic. It does require a browser install, the little extension for CCU game. I'm showing you my other extensions there. And once you're installed with this, you're logged into the site, you can refresh your hangar, and then you want to head over to create chain. Select from your hangar. Let's start from the recent pulse bike,
or from the store, because a lot of people that don't know about this, they probably don't have an LTI token, and you can. I mean, you can see from the UI that it's a step-by-step guide. So yeah, I'm not sure if we can go in further to see what's down on the left-hand side there, but it might be worth taking people through it.
Enhance. What are we looking for?
Enhance.
So your items.
Number 1, enhance.
Fleet ships. These CCUs. This is basically an inventory log of what you've got in your inventory in your hangar. You can select it. So say I want to just look at paints, for instance. you go to your paints and open up the search, and you can see which is in your hangar or which is in your buyback. It also allows you to wrong button. Allows you to export as a CSV, so you can send it to your friends or people that want to buy your account, or just go say, "Oh, let me see what you've got in your account." Sorry if anyone's getting epilepsy here. Yeah, and we scroll down. This is the part we really want to focus on: is this create chain button here, and then down with the CC overview if you want to just get ridiculous with it. This is a lot of CCUs.
Oh my god,
that's a lot of CCUs. But
oh
it's useful because
god.
I get them for people like.
So can we just go back to that, please?
Of course
I just
you
want
can.
to say,
It's a dedication and
any
time.
of you, it's kind of like Alice in Wonderland going down the rabbit hole. Like, if you ever want to look yourself in the mirror and go, "Do I have a problem?" When
That
you get
graph
to
is
this
his fall
point,
down the hole.
Yeah.
this is definitely the point where you go, "Okay." I'm impressed and terrified
Stop it.
all in one
Get
go.
some help.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you certainly owned this, definitely. So well done, you.
Well, I'd like to think I know what I'm talking about slightly, just slightly.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, right. So store-wise, LTI at the moment, we've got the Nurse, haven't we? So let's go from store. And Ursa, that's still there. Ursa Medivac. So if you buy it, War Bond, you get $5 off.
Use its correct name, please.
The Nurse.
The Nurser.
The Nurser.
The Nurser.
And then you want to go to, what was it? A Polaris.
A Polaris.
Indeed.
Okay, so the Polaris is not currently on the store. So yes, you can select it. You want to go for long-term high savings at the top here.
I think Banu Merchantman.
Yeah, let's go Banu Merchantman
right
since
now,
it's currently.
If there's something that you want, like a Polaris, and it's not in store, and you're going, damn, always look what else is there that can get you. It's like stepping stones, right? You can get to a Banu really well. That's pretty much more than halfway to a Polaris, and then some.
So you can see which of those CCs from that lovely chart I currently have in my hangar.
So before overwhelming them with all that, I think it's really important to show them the image of the Merchantman. And no, on the CCU game.
Okay.
Yeah, and then right. So this is it. On that image, it's showing you exact. No, you were right there. Cool. That picture right in front of you. You got Merchantman. You got $310, but the Merchantman actually costs $650. You're making a saving of minus 52% with this chain that is picked up. Now you've got LTI. That's the insurance, and then underneath it, that line, I think it's money. I think the gold dollar sign. That's new money.
New money, I think.
Or the credit card is new money. I forget which, but if you hover over them, it'll tell you.
This is the one that requires new money, store credit money.
Damn it, CJ.
So total buy-in is 145. But this is splitting down my actual account, isn't it?
And the reason why he's getting this good discount is because he's saved up a lot of War Bond CCUs.
Notorious.
And it's taken him time to do that. So this isn't like a quick fix. This is something to be aware about when those sales start coming on. Whenever there's a War Bond deal for a ship, it's important to spend as little new money on it, but to get that token. So you don't want to be spending more than $10 unless it's something that gives you like a $50 increase. I can't think of any examples off the top of my head. I think the C2 was a really good War Bond upgrade when that came out.
Yeah, I'm trying to see what ones I've got actually since I've collected. Let's go CCUs.
I applied all of mine because I was worried about the cargo update. I wanted to get the max hangar size, so I wanted my biggest ship to be in my fleet.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And then obviously 3 point, the cargo never came. Freight elevators never came.
And what is your biggest ship, GFA?
The Odyssey.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
Which
Great
is like,
choice.
I mean, it's hated amongst a lot of the community. I personally love it.
I don't
and
see
can't
why.
wait for it.
Yeah.
Me neither. I can't wait for it.
It's like a Karak and a Ryan, and the Michelin Man had like a romantic evening,
Yeah.
and it just created a ship.
I just love Misk. I think Misk is one of my favorite manufacturers,
Oh,
and I think
nice.
that helps. That helps a lot.
I like it, but I'm an RSI guy.
Yeah, I like RSI ships. The only one I can't get on with is just Drake.
There's no better word to say it. I'm just a whore. As long as it's not Alien or Drake, I'm just a whore for ships.
Yeah.
It's like Aegis, RSI,
You heard it here
Crusader.
first. Easton
Like,
is a whore for ships.
Yeah.
I mean, even
Clip
Consolidated
it.
Outland. Like, I can't stand the Nomad or anything like that, but the Pioneer is gorgeous. It's just beautiful.
Mm.
I love Origin, but I feel like Origin doesn't really have a place in the like it doesn't have a place in the game right now because
Yeah,
luxury ships
agreed.
and like transport is kind of pointless. But I love Origin. Like if I could own all of the Origin ships, I absolutely would. I just don't want to spend my real money on them because they seem so useless. So it's like, oh, maybe at one point.
when like a passenger, you can actually transport passengers, and it becomes a thing you can run tours, and that's actually an in-game loop.
Yeah.
Then yeah, they're going to be so. But like, I'd like it then. But for now, you just sit in what originally until 323 was water that didn't act like water, and pretend to have a sauna with your mates.
Yeah.
And then go, well, that was fun. Let's go do something else.
Yeah. Let's get a ship that can actually have some gameplay loops.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's go get a Corsair. Let's go
Yeah.
blow stuff up. Put
Yeah.
stuff in the back. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we do have another fleet view that's been sent in to us. This one's looking a lot healthier than the previous guy we looked at. So I'll bring that up here. Hopefully you guys can see this on the stream. It is a bit small.
God.
Let me zoom and enhance.
Enhance.
I mean, straight away.
Number one, enhance.
Look at this.
Can we get everyone shouting enhance in chat? Let's do it. Or else we're going to have it pixelated.
My
CJ just
No.
put no. Oh my God.
my autistic brain puts exactly what you asked for. There you go.
That's the kind of support that you get from chat from someone that just has a fleet of Alien and Drake ships. You know?
Yeah.
No support whatsoever.
Classic
we-
CJ.
We've
I
slated
know.
him, and now he's like, "No, I'm going to turn chat against you."
It's not zoom out Spectre, it's enhance. I swear that.
So we have got
So,
quite a healthy discount here on the Carrack of 43%.
Can we swap? Can we change the hierarchy so you can see like the best discount from top to worst?
This is just a screenshot.
Okay, fair enough.
So yep, healthy discount on the Carrack. Excellent work there. CAR though, 120 months.
I don't know. Are we going to be this kind as the first get go? Because honestly, I see like if you haven't achieved 50% off, could be it, you know it's like
Could always be
that's
better.
yeah, it could do better. Like that's definitely that sort of thing. Because it's like you've had all those war bond upgrades. Why not wait a little bit longer just to go that extra? But hey, that's me.
So yeah,
You know what? CDR Kitten. It looks like it, doesn't it?
it is. It is edging in
Just
class.
sorry, does it say edging in class?
It does.
Oh,
you do not want
Oh,
to see
you
it.
caught me beer in hand.
Sorry, do you want me to?
Trying to sneak those. I was trying to sneak those
Oh,
in
quick,
when you was
quick,
on the
quick, quick,
CCU
quick.
chain pages.
Oh no!
GFA exposed new YouTube video.
I think Kit might be trying to expose
Don't only
whose
have, like-
fleet view this is.
Oh, please tell me that's the name of the ship. Oh,
Yes, it is.
Oh,
it
As
is.
in the
That's
tag.
hilarious.
brilliant.
That is hilarious. Oh, also a little public service announcement: the tech preview has just become live on the RSI.
Do you want the viewership to just go out the window? Just open the door, just let them all out. Right, just come. Yeah, tech
Yeah, you
preview.
better all stay here.
Tech
You must stay
preview.
here. You're not allowed to see it until we're finished.
Tech preview.
Time to get
After.
3.22
time to
build.
get mushy.
Pre-master mode. So I'm looking forward to going back and doing a little bit of racing for a couple of hours.
3.22.
It's a 3.22 build, not a 3.23.
That's what they're using for tech preview.
Is that them sort
Oh.
of like going?
Time to get
Here's what
meshy.
you could have
This
had.
is- We're gonna throw out master modes because you're like giving us such poor feedback on it.
RSI is guilty
I
of
like
texting
it,
their ex.
honestly. I think they're doing 3.24 now, right? There's not 3.23.2 anymore. They've just
Yeah,
they've just gone
324.
Yeah. I wonder if there'll be more with it. I've been really out of the loop. Have they said there's going to be anything more with it, or is it all just the same as it was going to be?
I think it's just the same. From what I've seen, it's just the same as it's going to be. I think from
I
what I've seen of leaks and
think there
whatnot.
might be some extra stuff for cargo. Like I think we might see extra tweaks to like the economy and stuff like that, which they have announced, but like maybe an app for the Moby Glass, because the Moby Glass has just only been updated, so it would be nice to see an update to. I can't. It's like the journal where you can see like those commodity prices. It'd be really nice to see an updated version of that has some in-game data from space stations with cargo like commodity prices and stuff. That would be really cool.
Like,
It's
where's the
probably not going to
demand?
happen.
Where's the supply? Like, that would be cool. But, well, I guess that
Yeah.
is on, like, what would you want to see now? What would you hope to come in now, realistically, with this
What with
now
that?
324 and instead of 323.2 patch?
I guess my question is why have they changed it to 324 if there's nothing else coming with it? If that makes sense, like why go through the effort of changing the entire patch?
Mm.
Right, you know what I mean? It feels like there has to be more at that point. Otherwise, why the change?
Unless it's literally just like a hype thing, because unless they've gone, okay, this has taken ages now. What can we do to soften the blow? Let's make it sound more impressive. Let's call it
Yeah.
324 instead of 323.2 because of, well, in their words exactly, they say because of how much this is going to change the game, we feel with the gravity of it, it's worth calling it this instead of this. So I feel like maybe it's just this is going to be cool. Let's call it something better. That's my opinion anyway. I think like a marketing ploy.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Star Citizen would never do marketing ploys, right?
They do them so well.
Store Citizen, yes, that is accurate.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you're me. So, how do we find CCUs on this lovely website? So, for those that do not know, and there are people out there that do know, it's you come onto the Pledge Store and you see where your game packages are, and it's the ship upgrades panel here. Now, little nifty trick that Eason showed me was the ships that you want in here. Clicked highest price, and you can see here immediately 2 options available, and if we go and find the Eclipse, 3 options available because I am a subscriber. Let's look at the M2 Hercules for a minute. So 2 options, click. You can see this is the price of the ship if you were to buy it outright with store credit, and for you putting new money in, you could pay up to 485. Don't take this like pinch of salt. So click on the cheaper option. All ships, highest price. And this is what you want to do, is go for the top ship, which is the most established in-game, not likely to change in price. Ethan?
Hold it right there. That is one thing that I do want to like clarify there. This is where you need to do your research, because we know, for example, the 600i Explorer is getting a rework. So for that example, it could go up in price because of that. So that's when you probably, if you have that kind of information and you're not sure when you're going to be applying all your upgrades, it might be worth looking at a ship that's slightly below it. Might cost you a little bit extra, but won't change in price. Or at least secure that ship now at the price that it is, so that you know you can make it across. Yeah, sorry, continue.
We've been waiting for that rework for a hell of a long time. But you are right. You are right. So, if we go back to this again. Probably better to choose a different ship entirely then. In that case. So, if you know a ship has got a rework that is coming out, don't do it. But, I mean, it's been 3 years, so is it coming out? Is it ever really coming out? We don't know. Right, Eclipse.
Who knows?
3 options.
TM. Soon.
Yeah. So, Warbond, 275. All ships again.
How much is the Merchantman? Sorry.
650.
Warden, perfect.
Yeah.
650, I think.
Warden's not going to be going up in price anytime soon, as far as I'm aware. It's been released for years. It's combat ship. It's human. It's the first in the line of other Vanguard variants. I think that price will stay there at that. I mean, touch wood.
Yeah, and if not, then
ships
you've
go
got the
up in price
Mercury
every now and
underneath.
then,
But say for
the
instance,
Merchantman is 650. I just had a look.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Apollo Triage, however, unreleased ship, might see a price increase. So you may actually end up with a negative CCU, which is where you actually lose money, or you end up trading down to the ship based upon value. For this circumstance, we'll hit Vanguard Warden. And the reason why we want to choose this, the smallest gap, is you put the least amount of money into it, and then you can use the gaps between the ships or between the war bonds to either fill permanently or temporarily with store credit. If it's a big jump and you want to put store credit down just to ensure that you have that jump if you want it, cool. Or you can buy it and then wait on it and see if there are war bonds that come out in between those, which is how I've got down to some pretty tasty prices. Swanky's taking his notes.
Highlight those. Can you just bring that CCU like upgrade up again? Highlight those. We should highlight those points there. So like this upgrade is costing you $15, but look at the price difference in the ships. The Warden is $260 and the Eclipse is $300. So you're paying $15 new money to make that jump of $40. So that's where, you know, that's the actual visual evidence of you chaining these up. Got multiple of them. That's how you compound your discount.
Solid points.
And I think the important thing is, like you said before, is the patience bit, because when I got into this game, I went from, oh, the Avenger is cool, Cutty Black flies past. Oh, the Cutty Black is cool, to upgrade to Cutty Black. Oh my god, like there's a Taurus. Taurus is cool, up to the Taurus. MSR, Corsair, and so it just continues and it just continues. And I had no idea, and I think I got to the point that my fleet was worth well over 1,000 at that point, and then gone, oh, I've seen these things, these CCUs. Oh, that's weird. What's that upgrade for? Oh, I'm sure I'll understand it at some point. The moment that One Dark kind of the bomb, that like the penny dropped for me, I sat there and my wallet and my heart sank, because I was like, oh my goodness, what have I done? Because it is easy to just drop a whole load of money. You see these ships that ace in the period of this last year, like just from, what was it? Just from Fleet Week alone, I think I had $300 worth of CCUs and I spent 100. You know, so like £300 worth of upgrades, but I've only spent £100 on them because of getting these Warbond CCUs and stuff like that, just from things I've been looking. But again, this was my choice to spend my money. You don't have to do this if you don't want to. That was me looking to do this and thinking about upgrading my fleet eventually, and because I am going to continue to spend on the game. Of course I am. I love it. But that is up to you if you decide to.
How many of you guys like played the old strategy game Black and White?
Oh, I loved it.
I loved Black and White.
Yeah, Black and White, classic game. You know those little guys on your shoulders? You got the devil and the angels. Like whenever there's a sale, like one part of me is like, oh, new ship, must buy. And then the next one's like, yeah, but this mate, you gotta put some savings away. Come on now. And it's just like,
yeah.
And my resilience, you know, lately because I've been doing this since like the hangar module. I've got the ships that I love, and you know, I mean, what was the new Drake ship that came out?
The Iron
Chad.
The Iron Chad. Yeah, the brick, the Caterpillar. There we go. So yeah, I'm not a Drake fan, but you can see the years of experience going into the ship design where I'm starting to question myself. I want to get that Drake ship, and this is where it's starting to get a bit dangerous. So I was like, no, don't get it. I'm gonna step back to this. But
CJ's ears perk up. He's like, hold on, what was that?
Yeah. I think it's just key to remember that, like, you still want to have stuff to earn in the game. Like, we all want to have our favorite ships. We all want to buy like the coolest ships and things that are going to suit our gameplay style. Hence why the Odyssey works for me, because I love the idea of exploring, hopefully when there's plenty of star systems in the game, however long that's going to take to happen. Like, I'm looking forward to that style of gameplay of like exploring and being self-sufficient with the Odyssey mining its own fuel. Like, I'll never have to go and refuel that ship, theoretically, if I can find the fuel out there. So all those things that the Odyssey can do, it can refuel the smaller shuttles in its hangar base. So my scout ships can be constantly refueled as well. It's a completely self-sufficient system. I love that as a concept, but that doesn't work for everyone, and that's fine. But either way, like, you want to have things to work towards, because if you can just have all the ships now, then why are you playing the game?
Mm.
I get that base building and stuff, but do you know what I mean? You want to have goals, you want to have targets. You know, if they bring a new ship in, let's say a ship that's twice the size of a Bengal carrier that players can get. Let's just say that they do something along that lines. I know that won't happen; it's too big. But if they do that, and it's like, okay, it's going to cost you 500 million, you know, like 500 million credits in game to earn, then damn, I'm going to be grinding for that if it takes me a few years to do. Like, I want there to be a goal. I like the chase. I like the objective. Otherwise, I can't enjoy a game. So just bear that in mind as well. Like, yes, we can buy these things, but maybe leave some stuff up to actually earning it in game, because they will all be earnable in game.
100%. I
Yeah,
want to
agree.
add on to that, because like for me, even though that I'm up to like 49 ships now, which is ridiculous. I'm like, I do want something to play for, and they do mention that, you know, I can't remember when this was, reputation. You're going to earn your reputation with different factions, and
Can't wait for that.
hopefully when you get to the higher levels, you might go to a vendor that goes, congratulations, you've there was an article in Lore called Bronson Bolts, and it was like this modified police interceptor M50 that was used by the CDF, and there was only a few of them available. And I'm thinking, if I get my reputation high enough with the CDF, does that mean that I can get that modified M50 that's probably got larger hard points than the standard model? And if that's the case, you know, you can't buy that on store, but you have to play the game in order to get that. That's really exciting for me, and I'm the same with GFA on that one. Like, I hope they do make it so that the real sweetest things you have to play for. You can't buy
Agreed.
them.
Like,
Yeah.
especially base building, I really, really hope, and I'm sure I'm wrong on this, because the way the price and sort of the financial side of Star Citizen and how their marketing works, I'm sure they won't follow what I hope they do. But I hope they don't have things like furniture as a purchasable thing on the store, and I hope like base building, like schematics, I hope you have to find that and craft it, and you have to go and do
Research it. Yeah.
research it, you know, explore the universe. You know, everyone on the internet is saying that this really rare schematic to build like a sentry turret on your base, they can only be found in this specific system. You have to go there and find it, and maybe you come across a boss fight of something, because it's an MMO, right? So some kind of like the giant worm, for example, just as a silly example, but some sort of thing that you have to defeat to then get that schematic or find it, or it's just, you know, 1 in 1,000 chance that it will spawn in this certain area. So people are constantly trying to find this rare thing. That is such a important part of the game, to make people have a target and a goal and a common thing that people are like having combat for. Because if that's not in the game and you can just buy it on the store, suddenly the game becomes almost pointless to play. And same with like furniture. Like, I really want there to be furniture in the game for our hangars and for our habs and for our bases, but I really hope they don't just sell it on the store, and then you go to your friend's base that's, you know, you might have a really rich friend and he just spent $2,000 on an in-game piano, and you're like, that's really cool, but you haven't earned it. You've earned it in real life, but you haven't earned it in the game.
Yeah.
And it's really hard. They've got to draw that line somewhere where they go, right, this is our marketing model, but there's other things that you will have to get in game and only get in game. And that will be what people are playing for and fighting for. And it's really important that they find that line. And I hope we're approaching it now with like cargo, with the new hangars, with the new persistent hangars we're getting. We're going to be able to customize them and put furniture in. I think it's so important that they start how they intend to go on, and don't start selling stuff on the store for furniture. I'm sure they will. Marketing, I get it. I understand it. It costs money to make the game. I get it. But I just hope they find a way to not do it right off the
Protect some things.
And
Some things that are special.
Hopefully not everything as well. I think, because I spoke to a couple of people at Bar Citizen. I was like trying to speak to as many people as possible, and I think they understand like the importance of rarity and earning things in game and actually making the game feel alive. And like, you got to work something like, maybe you have to find the schematics to be able to create a very posh item of furniture, right? And then you've got to get the materials for it to be able to find it. Or maybe you've got to get to a high level of reputation with someone before you can buy an Origin seat. This is you know, it's like M&S, right? This is no ordinary seat. This is no Drake stool. This is an Origin middle of
Wait, are they
Stanton,
just
forged
dripping
in the
this
stone.
C2 in cream like in
Yeah.
slow motion camera?
Yeah.
Like,
With
what's going on? But like,
rubbing the seat with a spoon. Yeah, but like
yeah,
you could work your reputation up. Imagine like a Hurston apartment that you could earn by getting high reputation would look completely different to a Drake apartment. You
that
got that kind of thing. But you've got to get to a high
100%.
level of reputation. Because I personally imagine you're sat in your Artemex armor in your Hurston apartment that's dark and moody as feck. And like, your mates come around, you'll sit in a dark room and sit with your red lights on your helmets, stare at each other. But it would just be sick.
I mean, one of the things they keep mentioning is like how important it is for them to build narrative, and for a
Yeah.
multiplayer game to be able to do that, being able to have that individual characteristics and that rarity in some items is very important. And when when you guys are talking about research and crafting and all this sort of stuff, it is looking like they are gearing up to going, you've managed to research this mining laser in a certain way that now allows you to access this sort of rare ore that is really good in this schematic, like, and you have to build a component that gets put in the schematic. So the complexity looks like it's lining up really well. It's the follow through that I'm really, I really hope they don't just go, yeah, it's ready, we're just going to rush it out, because I would very much like them to spend more time in that area, because that's the thing that's going to keep more people in game than combat, I think.
Yeah,
100%.
it was really encouraging when like they were talking a few ISCs ago about how you would be able to craft and get the bits to make an Idris, that kind of thing. Just if you're on your own, it'll just take a very long time, which encourages org play and stuff like that. Like I was talking to my medical point at Bar Citizen of saying there should be a resource that you use to respawn, and that resource you should be able to craft and find, and that means that it's then valuable, and then you could have a quality version of it and a non-quality version of it, which then means that then people will then fight over it, because whatever org has the most resource to be able to respawn will win in a big battle because they can respawn the most. That kind of thing. Like all of a sudden it creates, yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Or even things like certain ship components. If you go to a specific, let's say you take one of your ship components to a specific alien system that's very hostile, very cutthroat, very hard to survive in, but there's certain places that if you get to, you can like overclock your components to be better than, so you can take it above that. So you might have the best shields that your ship can have, what's it called, military grade A or whatever. But then you take those shields and you go to this specific place in the verse, and it's like, yeah, if you fight your way there around other players and things, well, then this is the only place you can overclock these specific shields to be more, even better, and you can really get it to like that platinum grade and get all your ships upgraded.
Risk and reward.
Yeah, and we need that in the game. We need that competitiveness, but it has to be in game. Like doing anything like that as a real money, as a microtransaction, I think it will kill this game before it even gets going. Like the way it's been going is absolutely fine in my opinion, and with the ship sales, and been completely a decision of the people buying it. You don't have to buy a single one of the ships other than the cheapest one to get into the game to play the game and have the same fun as everyone else. But if they start then locking other parts of the game behind paywalls, this game will die before it ever lived, in my opinion. So it's really important that they get that line right. And we're approaching that decision time where they have to start thinking, and I'm sure they are, right? I am I'm under no illusion that they know a lot more than me, and they're much more intelligent than me, especially in regards to their own game they're building. But I just hope they are thinking about it, because there have been some decisions that were like, I'm not sure if I would have decided on that one.
I mean,
medical gameplay. Sorry,
have you been getting people coming to you and going, oh, they're going to put like the game behind a subscription wall? I'm just like, well, I have no clue. Like, why are you asking me? But secondly, they've already got a
You know
subscription.
everything, Ethan, right?
Like they've already got a subscription. I don't work for CIG. I just like this game and have done for a long time. But like, they've already got a subscription. I think that subscription is just going to change to include moving from development stuff to in-game content stuff. And if you want to be a part of like special events, like his name's I can't say the guy from what's the name of McCleary? That's it.
Oh,
Borderkin.
okay.
Borderkin
Mhm.
came up with McCleary's farm, and I'm just like, I want that. I want McCleary's farm in game. That's gonna
Yeah.
be fantastic. I would subscribe to that.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that'd be sick. Like, yeah,
So to the
that would
chat,
be cool.
to the chap in chat, it's not the size of your fleet; it's how well you use it. And to build on that point, when was the last time any of us went rock mining? I know some of us have been
haven't
hand
seen my
mining
fleet
because of
in 6
copiums.
months.
2 months ago, when a friend of mine decided to join the game, and I was like, "Let me take you back to the beginning," and just like follow
I
my
miss it.
journey in the game.
I think that's the key
Yeah.
thing
And
is if you spend too much money, you'll never see that side of the game. And it's almost like real world economy. Like if you don't have much money, you're going to go and do those labor intensive tasks. If you've got all the money in the world, you're going to go and do massive cargo and just earn all the money and then just jump on, essentially become part of a social group, which that's fine. If that's what you enjoy, that's what you want to do, then that's brilliant. But there's so many facets of this game where you can go and explore and build and expand and just keep going and going. I'm really looking forward to a full wipe. Let's go back to grinding.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Me too. Yes.
Yeah,
Please.
you need that incentive definitely.
ASAP.
Yeah.
Roll on 4.0. I'm pretty sure they said wipe 4.0, right?
Yeah.
One of the things I want to ask all three of you here, and especially chat if they want to throw in, but any of you that already know the CCU game and have had one of those mad nights where you come home and you're like, oh God, I've done the wrong fleet. Like I need to switch this all up. And then, you probably come back from the pub or something and you might not be completely in the right frame of
Sober.
mind, and you've just gone and you've just melted stuff and you've remixed it, and then you've woken up the next day, you've just gone, what's that Gandalf gif that you see online where it's like, I have no memory of this place. I've experienced that once. Just remember, don't ever change your fleet when you're tired.
Or drunk.
Public service
Never works well.
Yeah.
I have a story from the Bar Citizen that you guys put on Eason back. Was it back in March? I was speaking to a guy, and he said, "Let me give you a bit of advice. I went out drinking. I came home. I woke up in the morning with a headache, and apparently a kraken. And he was like, I don't remember it, but I do remember looking on my banking app and seeing that purchase on my credit card, and I was like, oh." That's a big purchase. Like, okay. In my head, thinking like, if I turned to my wife and was like, "Sweetheart, I was thinking of spending $1.50 on a JPEG. What's your thoughts?"
I had a friend who's spending sort of like £90 like a night going to the pub at university, and he when I was at uni, that was when the original Karak like drop happened. So like concept Karak, it was like $300, and I was like, I'm never gonna put $300 on the game. This is crazy. I've already got a freelancer max and a 350 yard. Like, why would I want to do that? Next thing I know, my hand's going into my pocket and pulling out my wallet, and I'm like, no, stop. But my friend, he's been to the pub, he spent his money, he doesn't have that anymore. I've still got my Karak. My Karak is in my hangar. I've never melted it, and it's one of the best damn purchases that I've ever purchased on a game, in my opinion, because it's just the amount of smiles you get for what you put down. It's definitely for me. So
Oh, absolutely.
it's
Yeah,
unique.
I agree with you on that. It's like I explained it this way. When you got like a friend who's really into something, and you're never quite as into it as they are, like a mate who loves trains, right? And he'll take you and he'll have his phone and he'll show you a picture of trains. He's like, look at it, it's incredible. I feel like that's me with Star Citizen.
What
right?
level of train like is he? Is he sort of like trench coat on the platform with the camera like recording
with that 360 fisheye camera thing that looks at his
Yeah.
face? It's that guy. It's that guy who loves the trains. And you're like, oh, here it comes. As your carrot pulls up. I'm like that with Star Citizen. And friends of mine are like, what's it like? And I'm like, just let me show you. Like, I've even bought people like game packages because they're like, I don't know if I want to spend money. I was like, oh, I will. Here's a game package. You're gonna come enjoy it. And it's always the same thing of you pull off the planet and they're like, oh, when's the loading screen? I thought, there isn't one. I'll lower the back ramp. They watch us pull away from the planet. We start going into quantum, and you just hear a like a gasp for a second. You're like, yep, they get it. They 100% understand what it is about this that blows my mind every single time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Don't you hate it when you gift someone a package and then you turn around and go, "Nah, it's all right, mate. I'm gonna go play Sims 4," and you're just like,
Wait, you gave someone your package?
And they turned it down for
Meme
Sims
ahoy.
4?
No, they took it and then went and played Sims 4.
Zuzu.
Which brings me back to, it's not the size of your fleet.
How you use it.
Nimohoy.
How you use it?
Zuzu. No, we're not doing that Sims meme here.
No, we're not doing
That
it.
can stay. We were on the train. We were on the train to Belgium for
Beacon?
Beacon Fest. Beacon, that's it. And honestly, just that. Like, I think we were getting so excited about it, we started shouting ships.
Oh yes,
yeah.
yes. So we created the game. You
Yeah.
know the bogey game where you start off quietly and it gets louder and louder and louder. We did it with ships.
Half of our guys aren't from the UK, may not know it. So like people like Spectre and that. So it's
Okay.
basically you have to one up the guy next to you. So someone will go ships, and then next person will be like ships, and then you get louder until it gets embarrassing. You go, yeah, we're about to get thrown out of this pub.
And then you get one almighty ships.
Yeah, walking down the street, just going ships, so the people think you've got Tourette's or something, and they avoid you.
I knew you had a good journey because that night I got a voice note from Pete, and it was like, "Hey man, I'm so gutted you're not here at Beacon, brother, and I'm with such a good time. Look at this cracker we're looking at." He was absolutely hammered, slurring his words. I was like, he's had a good journey.
It was the retribution. It was a retribution, and it was glorious.
It was the wine, Belgium wine.
Okay, here we go. I have a question for the panel. If we have time, we have all the time. Is there any ship you would give to every new player as a starter mount? What would it be? They would go for something without a quantum drive to encourage them to explore their home planet. We've spoke about this before, haven't we? Before venturing out, once they've either bought a quantum drive for it or bought a different ship.
Wait, does it have to be starter? Wait, so
it's a bit Argo Cargo, I think, is what he's sort of getting in. So it's something that can fly a bit. You are literally bound to the planet. I would go for a shipless package if I could choose anything, because then you go. I would love to start in a distribution center, pushing boxes around, learning the mechanics of the game. Then they can give you a ship that doesn't have a quantum drive. It could just be any ship. It could be a carrot, but it just doesn't have a quantum drive. And you've got to then transport it on planet from one distribution center to the other. Then you get the reward of going into space. That would be me. What about yourselves?
I've got a follow-up for that ideal starting thing, but I'm going to stay on topic with like the ships that I would recommend for starter. And for me, like, it's changed over the years, definitely. But currently, I think the Avenger Titan is so strong right now. That
so hot right now.
it looks good. It's got storage. It's quick. It's got decent armament. And it's just under like the price of the Cutlass Black and all those other things. So I would definitely say Avenger Titan holds my vote in that area.
GFA, what about you?
Are we talking about the current game or when it's out? Like we talk about it right now, because I think it's a really important point to make.
I think right now. Let's go for right now.
Okay, if we're talking right now, whoever said they'll get their friend someone without a quantum drive to explore their home planet is cruel. Because there is two of the home planets. There's nothing.
Area 18. That's really cruel. Yeah.
Pointless. Yeah. And like Orison, arguably, is also pretty pointless. It would take you an hour to fly to the next platform. So like, the person you buy the package for will be like, well, I'm not playing this game. I've just spent an hour flying in one direction and found nothing. I'm gonna go and play a different game. So for me, right now, you got to give them something decent. You got to give them something they can actually go and do stuff in, because you can't spawn in distribution centers right now. You can't push around crates and stuff, and like that's a great idea for down the line. But right now, like it's cruel, man. You got to give them something they can actually do what the game does at the moment. The only thing the game really does well outside of cargo is combat. Really, right now, you've got some of the sort of early careers of like mining, salvage. Like they work to an extent, obviously still being fleshed out. Lots to still do, but other than that, it's combat or delivery stuff really. So maybe I would probably give someone a cutter, just because I think that represents so much. I know it's Drake. Okay, hear me out. I think it represents so much
start
of
somewhere.
what makes Star Citizen. It's rugged. It's
Yeah.
got cargo space. It does exactly what it says on it. Like you don't buy a can opener and go, well, what does this do? Like a cutter just does exactly what you need
Yeah.
it to do. It's got the rule of cool with the little blast shields that come down the side. Like
Yeah.
all day long, and it's got VTOL, like all the things that can wow someone in their first gameplay. I've seen the VTOL go like flip
And
and
help
like
them
take off.
with VTOL as
Yeah.
well for new players. Yeah.
Yep.
And
So yeah, for me the cutter, I'd say.
and as of recent, you can now get a pulse in there as well. So you can
Yes.
go and do bunkers
Yeah.
from a
You
distance
can get
safely.
you
go
can
and do
get a pulse
distribution
in
centers.
Aurora.
You
You
can.
can get
Very
pulse in
easily.
anything.
Yeah, literally.
I think one person just mentioned in chat Pisces. Yeah, Pisces is my daily driver. So I pretty much fly the CAR or the CAX. I've got both, so I use that to travel around Stanton. I don't fly the Avenger Titan myself. If someone was coming to the game, I'd probably say that. But yeah, I fly the Pisces every day, so that's good.
I
I
only
think
just
for
melted mine
me-
last week.
What?
Finally. No. I think for me, like, see, my mind went Cutlass Black, but that's not starter. That's a bit too far. But that's me just getting my wallet out. Being like, I like putting money on it. But somewhere between the Titan and the cutter, I reckon. I quite like what GFA was saying of actually you can probably do a little bit of everything in the cutter. And similar with the Avenger Titan, you could probably get a pulse in that, to be honest, if you tried hard enough.
No, definitely. You can get pulse in that for sure.
Borderkin, that's also a funny idea. Give him a Sulu and make him suffer, because that'd be hilarious for a new player just to watch him try and take off. But I think if we're talking future as well, like One Dark did, I almost like the idea of once there are set career paths, that when you start, it almost goes starting out in the game, what career path would you like to start to earn your original credits? Do you want to be a fighter? Do you want to be a cargo hauler? Do you want to be a box deliverer? Do you want to do investigation missions? And then you pick a ship that fits that, and you earn your credits earning a career. And then once you've established yourself in that career, then you can go, now you can branch out. Because I think that could be a really interesting way to get someone into the game and understanding a career path.
Yeah.
Just to go off of a tangent of that, if I may, just for 1 second.
Yeah, sure.
How would you feel if...
Oh,
muted.
you just muted yourself?
Oh, muted.
Sorry, apologies. How would you feel? That would be great if I had the whole question and came back after it. How would you feel if they had it so when the game's out 1.0, whatever, you start off without your pilot's license, for example, which means you can't get any of your top ships. You have to start by doing some sort of career on the planet you live on, and it doesn't have to be long. It could be like 20 minutes of gameplay, but it's like almost like a hidden tutorial into the game. So you learn the shops, you learn how to do certain things, how to do basic trading, and how to build reputation, and then you eventually you get your pilot's license, and then the game opens up, and all of your ships that you've bought for real life money then comes into your hangar, and you can use them. But you can't leave the planet for the first 20 minutes of gameplay.
Yeah.
Would you feel like what do you think the community would be like? Would they be like, oh, I've paid this money, I want my ships, or would they be open to the fact of like, yeah, let's learn the game. It's 1.0. We've now got a fleshed out sort of product. So it's in beta or whatever.
When you say the community, I think the new community, absolutely.
Okay.
I think they'd like it, because I think that, well, personally, because I think...
differ to that. I
Do you?
would go the other
okay.
way. Yeah. So
Yeah,
I think for us that have fleets and own ships, it's going to be great to fly into places and see these places populated with players that are running tasks and stuff. But for the majority of players that aren't already playing the game, they're probably playing other games. Their attention spans may not be like ours, being so patient with Star Citizen. They might want to get in the game. They having a reduced package, I think, might be the way of doing it. So you could actually play Star Citizen
Sorry.
without a ship for a reduced price, but it means you're going to start off and you're going to have to network. You have to then find your way onto a ship and make enough money to pay to buy yourself a ship. I think that's going to be the way forward for it, because I think new players will just be like, this is boring. I don't really know where I'm going, and I thought I wanted to do medical, but I haven't played this game before, and it turns out I want to do cargo, and I'm not in the right place for cargo apparently.
Mm.
So that could be an issue. But the one thing that I did originally want to say was because I do love the idea of this for like a medical gameplay start. You're not just going to start in a hospital, work in a hospital. Like I just imagine, like, okay, you're a new player, so you actually, if they had charities in areas like Area 18, so you could go through like the back streets and you see sort of like homeless NPCs that are all like drugged up. So you're giving them out bottles of water, like burgers and like detox pens, and like then you go, congratulations, you complete this mission. You can now go work in the hospital as like a nurse or something like that, and having like an actual
Picking up
career
med
path.
gowns.
Yeah, like doing like base
Janitor.
stuff and going through that, actually fleshing out
Yeah.
like
Mm.
gameplay
Litter
loops
pickers.
from the
Freaking hell.
get-go like that. I think would be incredibly strong, and it would allow people to focus more on those, because most of us just want to get in and get out of these places and sell our stuff. Like we don't actually want to stay there. But when
Raptor when?
NPCs are working, like it's gonna look good, it's gonna feel good to be in a crowd of people with server meshing. So yeah.
And we need a janitor with persistent entity streaming.
Oh,
There's
yes.
just bottles everywhere. There needs to be like actual career path. There's like pick
Amen.
up bottles and put it in the bin. Like, that needs to be in the game now.
Preach it.
They
I'll
had
fucking do it. I'll fucking
Yeah,
do it.
I'll do it.
in
I'll 10 hours
store.
doing it.
There's a few items I want in store. First of all, the original lamp from back in the hangar days. I
I love
want them
lamp.
to bring that back because I want to like join the religion of lamp. And like secondly, that squeegee you see, I would love to see a squeegee with LTI because I think that'd be hilarious. And
Mhm.
then like I don't know, third, what was the third one? I can't remember. It's gone now. So kettle. We've got the coffee making machine, but I'm from the UK. I'm a tea drinker, and I want my kettle. I
Give me
want
my
my kettle.
give me my fucking Tetleys, lad.
Yeah. Yorkshire,
Yorkshire.
Yorkshire tea.
Sorry, sorry.
Yeah.
I apologise. I'm uneducated.
Yeah. Well,
But I think adding to the points before, sorry, GFA,
No, go for it,
but like adding to the points before, I think it would be interesting if you had to do those small missions at first to unlock some, because sometimes you just got like, and maybe you have to do on-planet missions first, and then you get space missions. Maybe there's you actually have to grind to get the missions. I know you do at the moment, but maybe you can't even get a mercenary mission because you haven't got a mercenary license. Or maybe you can't even do bunkers because you haven't got your rep up high enough with the right areas, that kind of thing. Like I can jump to Hurston right now and get a base level of all the Hurston missions. What if I need to earn rep with Hurston first by doing some on-planet missions? Something that just means a little bit more grind. I know it sounds bad, a little bit more grind, a little bit more story, a little bit more building of reputation, and then add some story in there, some NPCs, a little bit of dialogue and some lore, and it fleshes it out and it makes it feel more alive rather than just I'm going to keep searching until the mission I want pops up on my MFD.
How would you feel if like
Yeah,
Squadron
100% agree.
43 was to be like Cyberpunk but in Area 18 and really like use
It's in like
another game sort of like within the game to flesh out those areas?
I definitely, I think the eye is on fleshing out those areas. They've already talked about being able to land on buildings and have those rooms stream in. Like it's there on the horizon.
They mentioned that at SitCon last year, didn't they? About the idea of hubs and actually using those areas eventually, I think.
Yeah.
Imagine having your own place, mate. And then Squadron 44 can be like somewhere else. Squadron 45 somewhere else.
Will be Sims.
yeah. So when you say like fleshing out the bottom, though, are you saying basically like open world, like an open world game that's like just free roam? Because obviously Squadron's going to be linear, story based. There's going to be missions. There'll be some free choice, but most of it's going to be you go here, you go here, you go here.
Yeah,
structured basically.
So the game, if I was saying like I say Squadron 43, like as it'd be called St. Chaos, but that would be a linear game, but you can use the assets from that game, much like they're going to use assets from Squadron 42 to flesh
out the PU.
Yeah.
Which they will do.
And keep the PU in that constant sandbox. It's going to continually upgrade.
They kind of already are, though, right? There's
so.
loads of stuff that's coming over from the Squadron 42 into the PU, and that's happening now. Like
Yeah.
even the multi-tool, right? That's on its way. The military multi-tool that has a bit of everything on it.
I'm looking
That's on
forward
its
to
way
that.
to the PU. Yeah, me too. Me too.
Do you
So,
do you
yeah.
think we're gonna get that that pack for the Mark 1 Hornets, the collector's pack? Do you think we're gonna get the same for multi-tools now? Because the original multi-tool's gonna go out. We're just gonna get the military one.
They're
Yeah, I
going to
don't know.
decommission the old multi-tool,
Yeah.
and then they'll become a limited edition item.
Yeah,
I can see that happening.
I think they'll
'cause-
keep it in, but they'll make it dirt cheap. So like the military one might cost 10,000 AUEC or UEC
Or you've got to
to
earn
buy.
it.
Or you've got to unlock it through reputation. So you
I
have to
hope
start with the other one.
that would be sick. Yeah, you've
Yeah.
got to earn enough reputation to get a military one instead of just, here's another one. You can buy this one as well. Why would
Yeah.
you use the old one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And so if you go UEE, you get the military one looking all fleshed out, great. If you go Xenothreat and pick up reputation with them, you get one that's like spray paints like messages and all kinds of horrible stuff, and like maybe like turns into a blowtorch so you can torture people with it, like all kinds of weird stuff.
Well, that got dark quick.
I'm just
I thought
saying
you were going to say
Xenothreat
cut
are
through
not
hulls of
nice.
ships,
Yeah,
but no,
yeah.
Jesus
And
Christ.
with reputation, the stuff that you're going to get through that is going to change depending on who you're with.
I'm a Nine Tails enforcer. I'm going to cut your toes off, mate. Like,
Why do you sound like who's that guy from
Jason
EastEnders?
Statham?
No, I'm Ross Kemp.
oh, Ross Kemp.
Ross Kemp on Xenothreat. There
I'm
we
deep
go.
undercover with a blowtorch. I've been told if I've got to get in with them, I've got to cut some toes. Here we go, lads.
I like aliens. No one's going to shoot me. Right.
I'm an alien sympathizer. I'm here under direct orders.
Nice. So yeah, that's yeah. Where are we? One Dark? Have we massively gone off topic? Or-
Yes, we started. I was going to use a segue a while ago and say you were talking about your carrot, and that was like, how long ago was that now? So yeah, I was going to use the
2 hours
carrot.
ago.
Yeah, probably about that. Seems about right. So we're going to go over
Let's use the segue.
old CCUs. So CCUs no longer purchasable now. Could we see more of those coming up? I'm sorry, we went off on theory crafting. Where my heart lies. My heart lies within theory crafting. But
That's a danger. I mean, if you're signing onto this channel, watching it, we will
Tangent.
most likely go down the rabbit hole. Yeah.
You're still awake in chat. Where do you want us to go? Do you want us to go back to CCU game and teach you how to save money, or do you want us to remain on
Can we
the
Red
path
pill,
and
set up a
continue?
poll in
red
chat?
pill or
Set up
blue
a poll in
pill?
chat. Yeah.
Zuzu.
Nemahoy.
Booba Shoba.
Parada Kaduva.
That's the one I forgot.
Oh,
For
geez.
those of you just joining, that's not Banu, that's Sims 4.
No, CJ, we're not doing Stardew. People are asleep as it is.
Who's going sitcom? I am going sitcom. Dan's channel. I am going sitcom, and I'm
Yes.
very excited.
Yeah.
Who's
We're all going. Everyone here.
Yeah, I think we are going. Yeah.
We're going for the week, pretty
Premium.
much.
NDA.
We're looking to be
NDA.
there. No, but also just personally, right?
Embargo.
I'm not mentioning. I'm not mentioning anything, but the fact that I just I'm on a holiday in Manchester
Around
with
the
my fellow
time.
citizens around that
Mhm.
time.
Go for it. Is it a party, huh?
Convenient.
We're gonna have all the community guys coming over from Germany, Holland, France, you name it, like overseas. It's gonna be one hell of a party. Tickets are sold out. If you were umming and ahhing about it and you haven't, too bad.
They were gone now. Sold out.
Yeah, they were gone.
Yeah.
I heard no such announcement. I mean,
Was it Twitter?
I don't know.
Or can we even call it that anymore?
If you were following my Twitter around the time when the tickets were released, oh my god, I was sat here. I didn't go to work. I went to work late purposely because I wanted to be here for the thing. I was like, I've got to be at home tomorrow for this ticket release. I'm sorry, I'm not coming in. And but I think it was my heart rate was like 140 BPM when I got it in the basket, and I was like, there's photo evidence
funny,
on Twitter of it, but I managed to get it in the third wave, and then VIP tickets were on sale for weeks. Like, I really hope there was
Yeah, I was
something
gonna say.
different about our tickets than there are the regular premium
Yeah.
tickets, because I did not go through stress and almost like kill myself and probably take months off my life just to have the same ticket.
I've got quite a funny story with mine, because Eason, were you first wave as well? Did you manage to get yours first wave?
I did, yes,
Yeah,
but through the skin of my teeth, because
yeah,
One Dark and I called each other like half an hour before the drop, and I was at work, but everyone else had gone home early. So
mhm.
I was staying there. The cleaners were coming in, and they're like, "Are you working?" I'm like, "Yes, I'm working. Please don't disturb me." I was like clicking away, and then both of us missed out. But I continued on for like 20 to half an hour, like, and then all of a sudden, it. I think they must have dropped some of the ones back in there, and I managed to pick one up. But I was
Yeah.
so like sweat, upset. Like it was like I just really wanted to go and like be there, and they make it so
The
damn
FOMO is unreal.
difficult. Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, like
and
I spent the whole day. I spent the whole day getting stressed. I was at work. I was like, we need to be out. Like it was. I work in a bank. It's like 2 o'clock, and I was like, I'm just going to take a till off. Right, I'm going
Yeah.
to start cashing up. You don't do any more large payments. Just anyone comes in for cash, tell them no, we're out. Like I got out. Like we normally close at 4:30. At 4:30, the doors were closed. I was like, yep, go.
Oh.
Out we go. Come on, shoveling people out the door. I got home. I sat down. My wife came and I said, no, come back in 20 minutes. I was like, not now. I was sat there, F5. I managed to get one. I secured it on the first wave, had it in the basket, sorted. I thought, ace. Hey, that wasn't too bad. I thought I'll just pop to Twitter and mention about it. As I go onto Twitter, it's the reams of, oh, the fucking bots got it. Oh, I can't believe I missed out. Oh, this is ridiculous. I'm so upset. And I was like, I'll just wait a minute before I announce the fact that I've got one.
But you know what? Like the demographic for our community is pretty much men between the ages of 20 to like I would say 70, and you know, half of us, we're pretty damn passionate about this game. You know,
Yeah.
we really want to attend these events. I think CIG needs to be aware of how much stress they're causing their community by doing it like this. There's a reason for it, I'm sure, but for God's sakes, you don't need to give us a heart attack. We just want to come
You'll lose your
join
community,
in
man.
on the event.
You'll lose your community.
And then they left. Was it wave 3 was up for like 2 weeks?
Yeah.
And it's like, why the hell did you make the first and second so difficult? Was there any reason for that? I don't know. We'll
Because
find out.
it's
Cheers,
the
Data.
FOMO. That's what it is. It's the
Yeah.
FOMO. Yeah.
Yeah, so there
Hopefully, I hope. Yeah. Sorry, you go.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw it. I flashed it up on screen. And so it was 125 BPM. But you noticed the 1 minute before 94.
Oh my god, you actually took a picture of
Look
that.
at the
Oh my
time as
God.
well. 0900
No
on the
way.
dot. Checkout success. Oh my god.
That's insane.
I did text a certain community manager and say, please don't ever do this to me again. Have you thought about the health concerns for people like more susceptible?
Well, ever since then, I've
I
got
love
like,
Star
I
Citizen.
went to do this like test, for like high blood pressure. It's like, oh, your blood pressure's a little bit high now. I was like, well, I wonder why. Like, come on. You might have white coat like syndrome. It's like, it's not that. It's this damn game.
Have you thought about sitting down for a minute? Your heartbeat's going wild. Said, I am sitting.
I am smiling.
I am smiling.
Yeah, so CitizenCon's going to be amazing. And
What
yeah.
What do we think's gonna? What do we think they're going to do this year? Because my personal little theory is there might be a playable version of Squadron 42 there.
Yeah, I think so.
That's what
Yeah.
I think.
We'll get the
I-
trailer and the release date for Squadron. I don't think it will come out at
Mm.
CitizenCon. Maybe it might be a lot sooner than we think, like maybe December release kind of thing, but it won't be out at the event. But yeah, there'll be like a demo, like maybe the opening 10 minutes or something to play, I think.
Something that we see in the trailer we've already seen, like those bits leading up to whatever the first battle is. You know,
Yeah.
probably that, I imagine.
like a test bed, just to like.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it gives nothing away. Just
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I did think that originally, with how they were doing it, I was thinking, we could probably see Squadron 42 by then, but obviously taking into account all the stuff that needs for all the ships being updated and where they are currently with master modes, like the more I've realized they've got a longer way to go than what I was initially anticipating. I don't know what they've got in the pipeline for master modes, but they really need to dial in. They've got a lot to balance and tweak,
Yeah.
and the teams for doing that are quite small, and they've got a lot on their hands. And yeah, so I'm just reading the comments here.
I'm hoping for one-to-one size ships as well. That'd be sick. Imagine being able to actually go and sit in a Hornet. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
Don't MSR, mate.
They've got
Yeah,
the trait. Oh, but 1-to-1 size MSR.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck yeah. That'd be amazing, but
Too many doors, mate.
People agree fit. People agree fit. That'd be the problem. You get on, you drive your rock on.
yeah, play chess.
Yeah, that's it.
All of a sudden,
Put
the
the queen on the
floor
side,
opens
open the
up.
door on the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody falls down it, presses a claim against CIG.
Colin Furs, what a guy. But I mean, that would be lovely. That'd be incredibly expensive and obviously not functional. But like, we can
Need a
dream.
big ass 3D printer.
Just, I can just imagine.
Imagine if they did like Dodgems, but like put like Grey Cat like buggies and just like had a little corner for that. That would be hilarious. I think.
That'd be good. Would be good.
So you were mentioning about older CCUs.
Yes, we digress.
Gonna come full circle. What were you meant like? Are we talking like when the Banu Merchantman came out and it was like you get an upgrade for that? You mentioned something about they potentially going to be coming back into the grey market.
But yeah, you've got old CCUs and then you've got old limited ones which are no longer available. So you got like the Carrack Expedition with C8 C8X Expedition, which is
I
the
just
X.
used my last one of that.
Yeah, well, I used mine on a Carrack that I'd bought from someone else and realised that if ever down the line I was like, do you know what, I want to get rid of this. I can't sell that expedition now because it is involved in the chain where it's not giftable. I would have to melt it, and then you lose those CCUs that you put on top. So yeah, if you've got old CCUs or ones that are worth a lot of money or they're rare, be mindful of what you use them for. No.
With the recent change to the Retaliator, you used to be able to upgrade to the Retaliator Bomber. That's no longer the case, as most of us here, I imagine, already know. But if there's people out there going, oh, why do I want to have this now? Because it's gone down to the price of the Retaliator. Keep it because you get the torpedo modules with them. And I'm not sure how they apply to the account, but I imagine they apply to the pack that you put it on or the ship. So if that ship has LTI, those modules come with LTI. And if you have a look online for LTI torpedo module ports, they're like $250. Like, it's ridiculous the price that people put on these things.
Jesus.
And those prices are there in store, not on the RSI store, like on the Impound or Starhanger. They're there because people aren't paying for them. So that's something to keep in mind. It's not worth that price.
Listed price is different to sold price. But can you imagine having the foresight to know that the Retaliator Bomber was going to become the Retaliator? And if you had a Retaliator Bomber to Eclipse CCU for $5, it's now worth like $105 of jump for $5.
Crazy, isn't it?
Can you imagine just having that insight? Incredible.
If you had a few of those, you spend 20 quid, you get 4 of those CCUs, you've saved yourself hundreds and hundreds of dollars.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
It didn't even have to be Warbond.
Like when I because I got the 2948 Science Exploration Pack and the 2948 Mega Science Exploration Pack. Like when I go on the CCU game now, it's broken the discount part. So it says, "Oh, you've got you managed to get minus 1000% discount on this item," and I'm like, how is that even calculated that? What is it doing? And it's just like it's applying all the Warbond upgrades that apply to it and I think I've broken CCU game through that. So That's an achievement I keep to myself, a broken CCU game, which is great.
Mm.
I'm trying to go back and see. Let's have a look. I'm just looking in chat.
Right, so one other pertinent CCU we can talk about because it is Alien Week is the Glaive. Let's test your knowledge,
Boom.
GFA. Why am I bringing up the Glaive CCU? He's on the spot now. He's like, wait, what? I was looking at memes.
I don't actually know. Is it had a price hike? I don't know much about the Glaive.
No, so the Glaive is Warbond, but is only accessible to those that have completed Vandal Swarm to the degree where they get the Vandal Aggressor badge. But also, you can only obtain it once for your account.
Oh.
So,
Wait, what? Really?
yes.
So I've obtained it for you. Oh no.
Yes. Yes. This is
Oh,
this
fair
is the
enough.
way it seems.
It's
That's
alien filth, and to me, the only true
Alien
rare
filth.
alien ship that there is, it's the Scythe,
no.
the original
I'll fight
Scythe.
you.
That is like the Glaive. You know, asymmetry. What do you prefer? I mean, the Scythe. The first.
So I have taken
Scythe's
the
cooler.
Glaive out. It's quite a funky ship. But because I'd bought a CCU to it previously, that was my only instance where I could possibly use it. It doesn't appear on the store for me as a standalone or a CCU. You melt it, it's still on your account in your buybacks. You buy the Alien Complete pack and you melt it, it's still in your buybacks. Like whichever of those avenues you go down, you can only touch it once. And as far as I'm aware, if you CCU to the Glaive and then go beyond it, you've lost it. That's it. You'll never have it. The only way you can do it is by getting someone else to buy it for you and gift it to you. So, or auto account and send it to your main.
I have thought about that, especially when it comes to like referrals and stuff. Because I had a few friends like, "Do you want to join the game? Do you want to join the game?" Especially when like they do the like, because there's one you could get the Merlin, and then one for like a hover bike and armor sets. I'm just thinking, and then I stopped and thought, I could just make alt accounts and refer myself to myself, and then end up getting these things instead. just to make sure I don't miss out on free stuff. I love free stuff. I don't know if you can tell from the beginning when I said I own 10 Huel shirts from using different email addresses, but if that didn't make it obvious, you know.
Who doesn't like free stuff?
Oh,
It's free.
So good. You go to an event and there's like nibbles and bites and free food out. You're like, can fill my plate.
So is this accurate when you hit your referral reward milestone? Is this you? I don't know if you've seen it.
What?
Oh yeah, that's me. Yeah,
well
that's
done,
absolutely me.
You've got Surf and Turf. Here's your PTV. Yeah. Oh great. You've got Gladius and Gold. You've referred 10 people. Yeah.
The idea is I'm sat here and I'm like, thanks for joining the game. You've really helped me out. I've got some armor and a ship, and then just me too. I can't wait to get stuck in.
Yeah. I mean, there was some of that. This I'm getting flashbacks here to the Foundation Festival. Sorry. No, just
2,000
us.
alt accounts for the Jav.
How?
Yeah, 2,000 alt accounts at £40 a pop.
Right. How many of us have got alt accounts?
I actually don't.
You actually don't.
I don't
okay.
either.
Actually don't.
You've got one
I do,
account
but
and that's
you know
it.
why, and I don't use it.
Yeah,
I've
do
got
I
one
know?
account.
You got one.
I have
okay.
one account.
Okay.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people out there that have multiple accounts, 3, 4 for their children when they get older and whatnot. How many of those
because they
5?
want a pirate. Don't go over that. Don't scrape over
Yeah.
that. You know exactly who you are.
Oh,
and no.
yeah. I mean, know exactly who that is in chat.
Yeah, CJ. CJ's got 5. There we go.
Different names for different ventures.
Yeah, basically.
It's coming from my space
take a
cows.
ban.
He always threatens my space cows, man. It's just wrong.
They're going to turn them into patties and they're going to be delicious.
Yeah. But
They're dairy.
I'd say if we had a bit of hindsight, then we could have done this episode a bit earlier, and we would have been able to point out the importance of picking up a cheap LTI token such as a Pulse Bike, which was only $25 Warbond. Something like that.
Yeah.
Yes, it's the cheapest LTI token to date, I believe. what was it? The Merlin came out many years ago. I think we got a couple of people here that might be able to say otherwise, but as far as I'm aware, Warbond $25, incredible. Just having that LTI again. CIG don't know what they haven't disclosed what LTI exactly means, but if you're early backer, you want to have it rather than not have it. I imagine.
Yeah, you'd rather have it than not have it and then regret it later. That's
Yeah.
that's the way I think it anyway. Here's a little one that might be exposing. How many pulse spikes did people buy?
I only got 2. I went pretty mad with the hoverquad when that came out.
Mhm.
Like I think I got 5 of them, but the pulse spike I just got 2 this time. I've really started to slow down because I've got such a huge fleet. It's sort of got to the point where I don't
You don't
really
really need them.
need
Mm.
like the caterpillar.
Yeah.
I'm trying to really
Oh, but do
exercise
you though?
restraint.
But do you? See,
Well,
it's.
I'm saving up for when they bring in crafting and farming, which will come after Squadron 42,
Mm.
and those ships that will come with those game modes are going to be really, really lucrative, I imagine. So that's what I'm holding up for.
Well, I
What do
bought
you think?
8.
You bought 8. Oh
You
my
bought 8 pulse
God.
spikes. You took one piece of advice
bought-
about CCU game, went out and bought 8.
Yeah.
To
This
be
is
fair,
the
My guy.
that was after the first bit. Yeah, I'd got a nice bonus. I'd got a little bit to myself, and I was like, you know what looks good? 8
Ships.
pulse spikes.
guy.
And
Yeah,
then,
fair enough. Fair enough.
yeah, and then so just to top it off, then there's one of the other orgs I'm in. We were like, I've got all these pulse spikes, pulled them all out, said let's try them out. Went to the river's edge, didn't realize about the way that it dips down but it comes back up, and we all exploded. It was glorious.
Sounds about
Yeah,
right.
I think that was the first time we used it as well. Someone was flying next to me. They had the one with the gun, and I had the LX because I just preferred the LX. And they accelerated too hard out of the ship, and the gun just buried into the ground, and they just forward rolled and exploded. And I was just like, "Oh my god, great!
Glorious.
It was perfect."
So CJ's put in chat that dragonflies were LTI tokens, and that's reminded me. So, I'm going to refer myself for the 10th time. When you do refer or get a referral during one of the periods where you get the referral bonus, if you CCU that up, that is then locked in. I don't know why that's funny.
Yes.
So you are then unable to melt that without support or concierge assistance, and they are not guaranteed. They're not duty bound to say yes. So it's another factor you've got to take into mind and consideration. That's probably one of the best bits of advice you can do, because the amount of people I've seen that go, oh yeah, I've got his LTI Carrack, or what's the worst one I've seen? I think it was LTI Orion from a dragonfly.
That's right. I remember you telling
me.
Oh
And I asked to see their chain, and there was no Warbond CCUs involved. It was just a straight jump with real money on a referral gift.
Jeez.
So,
why have I not made a discount? I don't know, man.
And that was really the conversation that spurred the need to have this episode. So this is the podcast version. There will be a longer form version, which is much more heavily edited and makes more narrative sense, whatever the word is.
Exactly.
And has less diversions.
Yeah.
But I think the key takeaways for the CCU game is check out CCU game, be patient, and do your research. Like massive like research. Just research. Ask other people that you trust. Take advice from them by all means, but check it out for yourself. Don't just start applying CCUs if you're not sure.
The amount of times I've messaged One Dark and said, should I do this? And he goes, no, whatever you do, stop before you do it. Wait. And I'm like, okay.
I've started doing it with people in like the Facebook market groups, and they're like, oh yeah, I'm looking for this, I'm doing this. And I'm like, show me your fleet. There's something, just a little thing. So this guy, he sent me his fleet. I was like, right, be right back. Like half an hour. Doing all these sums. I was doing CCU game, like the whole like thing by pen and paper, like, and doing it on one sheet of A4. And I was like, right, okay, if you melt all your fleet, you will not get all of your ships back, but you will be able to use at least store credit and Warbond CCUs to get to this point, and you'll have $178 or something remaining of store credit after you've finished getting to the point where you want to get to. But in the meantime, have fun. And that's another point of the CCU game, is if you're going from the Pulse bike all the way up to the Polaris, stop on the way, have fun, break up your journey, look at the loaners that come with those ships, and really get to use the fleet that will be at your disposal. If you just go from A to B and don't look at the scenery,
That's a great point.
Man, get out of here. Especially if you do it through a referral gift.
You might get to that ship and not like it. You might stop on a ship along the way and prefer it even more and fall in love with it. Like it's
definitely.
Yeah. Banging.
No, you must own 3 Valks simultaneously. Well, CJ, if that's what you want, man.
That's the first thing that he said all night that I agree with.
Yeah.
Ordinary,
Drake,
Liberator, Biz.
For example, like with going to the Bar Citizens, like I won an A1, and then it was only then I was looking at, like, I have upgraded it to a Banu Defender because I don't like the A1. But then One Dark was then speaking to me and saying, actually, you can't melt that. Like, you have to really think about what you're going to change that to, because that is stuck. You can't melt it, you can't sell it, you can't change it. That is a permanent decision, and you can't change that.
But it's at a great price point to upgrade from.
Oh, it is.
You kind of
free.
The A1 is.
Like, getting a really good Warbond CCU chain before, I'd say, the Cutlass Black is so difficult. But that's the area where you can make a huge, massive difference in your total savings altogether. So yeah,
because like for example, if I want to, like, because this is the point we were having when the Polaris comes out, if I like it, don't get me wrong, 98% of my heart, body, and soul knows I'm going to fall in love with that ship and walk around it starstruck. But so I could potentially, if when it comes out and I love it, I could then go, okay, well, I can melt my Polaris, and then I've got the CCU chain ready to come up from my A1 to it and make a saving, and then use that store credit elsewhere. But if I don't like it, I can melt it because I haven't got it account locked. So that it's just thinking about those things and making those decisions later on. I have that option available instead of going, I've got this ship and I don't like it, and I spent a lot of money on it.
Yeah.
And I'm really sad.
So
you know, I'm so sad.
Just so you can see for yourself the horror story that I put a stop to, this is the message.
I can't see that.
You really can't? Oh, okay, so Swanky.
Oh, there we go.
It's Discord. Discord.
Oh, here we go. Yeah.
Swanky will be playing the role of Swanky in this conversation, and I'll be playing the part of the lovely One Dark. Go for it.
So I was thinking I might as well start to look at turning Z. No, I'm sorry. Turning that.
Why do you always switch to either American or German?
I'm sorry. It's just a go-to. The compound A1 into one of either Galaxy or Polaris, as I can CCU up from it and end up saving more, and I can then melt either the Galaxy or the Polaris and use the store credit for other things, as I know I want to permanently keep those 2 ships.
9! Absolutely not. You cannot melt or sell. So if you get to the Polaris and find you can't get enough people to man your craft, or that it's a hot turd and you don't like it, hell, even change your mind, you can't.
Oh, that's a fair point. So you keep it at what it is, or just around the price point to a ship I know works or like, or was already in game. Just I'm not a fan of the A1, so I would look to change it.
He'd already gone to the Banu Defender. It was
by that point I had actually already gone to the Banu Defender, but that was only a £20 jump and I stopped there. So,
but for instance, he wanted the Ryland, was it? For the next step.
Yeah.
So he is unable to take advantage of the Warbond CCU because he's gone from basically the Warbond is $20 off the price, which is the same price as a Banu Defender, which you then cannot upgrade to. It has to be a minimum of $5 air gap between the price of the Warbond CCU you're paying for and the price of the ship.
So I've already missed out because I've jumped the gun, not thought about it and done my research or asked questions. Ladies and gentlemen, neurodiverse, no impulse control. But it helps. Essence, like I relate. Look at my fleet. But yeah, no, absolutely. Just stopping and think about it, because then technically I could have had a better ship, a ship higher up the pay scale for less, and missed out and made a savings when I was going to spend the money anyway, which I did. So
I think if you're starting off with a small fleet and you're interested in the CCU game, I would highly recommend on going for big ships first and little ships last. Because if you get yourself like a bigger ship, you can always come back and get those. It's just more efficient. But gameplay wise, it's harder because you need a crew. So it's totally up to you. But if you want to make the best savings possible, the higher up of the ship you go, the better discount you're going to make, and that's time that you don't have to spend in game grinding for a reclaimer, which could
Providing you're
be
patient and make sensible choices.
Yeah.
yes, and do your research.
yes.
Yeah. So, is it time for a couple more questions, or what's the plan?
I want questions.
Give me questions.
Give Tommy questions. What sort of questions do we want, though? What's people formulating?
Spicy. No, I'm joking. Sorry. I'm gonna go turn my. I haven't got my ring light because my missus borrowed it for yoga content. So I'm gonna go turn my light on, so I'm not sat in darkness.
Wait, what?
For
Why are we
yoga
watching this stream?
Hey, that's my wife, man.
Can we see Swanky do some yoga content now, please?
It's my turn.
Oh God.
How many
Let
people
us
do
give
we
some
have
ankle.
actually watching this stream? If we can get like a raid or something, we'll do yoga.
A raid from Star Citizen, and I'm just showing ankle on stream. Just yeah.
Just
If
doing the crane from your chair with your 8 Huel t-shirts.
Yeah.
Data, send me your ship view from CCU game. Okay, question from chat. Favorite alien ship and why? Swanky. We'll go the other way around this time.
No.
Ooh.
Okay. Favorite alien ship and why? Okay. Are we talking already in game? Yes.
No,
or
it could be
just concept.
Could be concept.
anything.
Okay, cool. I still really like the Sulan.
Oh, in the game.
Yeah. So I still really like the Sulan. I don't know enough about all the other alien ships yet, considering the amount of time I've been in the game and in the Star Citizen universe to really know. But probably the Sulan for a starter and already in the game, and then for alien, not yet. Then I think the Banu Merchantman, because the whole reason for me playing this game is the whole aspect of creating a world and a story, bringing people together, having an experience you share. Like my whole fleet is based around, if someone jumped into the game and said, I don't want to do something, it's like, I can help you with that. Like that's what my fleet's based around. So yeah, Sulan or Banu Merchantman, I think for me.
I think GFA and I are pretty much similar tastes on this front.
Yeah. Although I do love the Sulian, so I would say the Sulian and the Raylan for me. I know the Raylan for you as well. I think but those two ships. I have to be honest. I'm not a fan of any of the alien ships other than the Sulian.
There you go.
Like,
That's what we want to say.
I have tried all of them, and I really don't like any of them other than
See
the
no
Sulian.
threat. See no threat.
So yeah, I'm hoping for the Raylan just purely because the design of it looks incredible and it's a cargo ship. So that is my two. That was very Ricky Gervais, but that is like my whole jam right there. So yeah, that's. How about you, Ethan?
Yeah, definitely Raylan. I'd have just because of how it looks. I think that's fantastic, and also it's like, it's quite nice to see an alien utility ship. Like there's not many of them, and that's because we're still kind of fleshing out, I imagine, the lore behind those cultures and how they work, because they don't work like humans. The Banu Merchantman, for example, is a prime example. They kind of like not only have their combat mixed with their trading, they all have, they just have one ship that does pretty much all rounder of stuff. Covers most roles pretty well, and has been going down generations past from Banu to Banu, like getting better. Raiden would be definitely there. Asperia Talon, I think, is a really cool looking ship, and especially when you're flying it, it's impractical, but I love how that screen turns on when you're inside it. And with the 2 size 4s and stealth, that's pretty nice. And then I think it has to be the original Scythe. There was like 3,000 of them or something like that
300.
were sold. 300. So yeah, sorry. 300 of them like captured by the UEE and sold through the store. And I love marketing sales like that. I think unique, limited stuff like that. Going, we have this special version of this ship. There's only 300 of them. Get them now, quick. I love that. Even though I don't want that to happen, because then I'll get into financial difficulty for sure. But yeah, that's that. I know one person that owns one of those scythes, and I think the value for it I've seen on store is like 3,000 now, which I wouldn't sell it. I would hold on to it because it's nice to have. Yeah, I've been here. It's nice to go. I've been here that long. I've been backing this game that long. This is what I've got for it, and I think that's important.
One Duck. How about you?
Yeah, come on.
It's the glaive. It's a new, recent addition to my mind. I was just like, do you know what? I really like the ship, and I don't like the look of the rework. You did give me your glaive.
I gave you my glaive.
I appreciate you, but yeah. So I really like the glaive the way it is. But whilst beforehand, I'm still looking forward to the Rylan. I do think we need some more industrial style ships, usable ships. I want to see like an equivalent of like the cutter or miners. Yeah. Stuff like that.
That would be really interesting. Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Tavaran aren't just. I mean, they can't just have combat ships. Like the Tavaran,
they have to function somehow. There has to be, like
exactly. Like I think one of the things that we haven't seen in game yet, which I'm incredibly surprised about, because you'd think sort of like the MSR would have covered that area, is like a stealth. It's like a freighter that's stealthy, for smuggling. Like, and they went through all this. Like the MSR had like the under bit with like the crawlway, which I thought was really cool idea at the time. But as you play it and then everyone else owns it, and you start really realizing this isn't actually practical, because now everyone knows the secrets behind it. So I think they should have gone for a much, like, honestly, can you imagine like if the C1 had like stealth capabilities or something like that, and it was quick? Like, that is a sort of ship that I would go for, and I would love to see alien freighters doing interesting takes on utilitarian stuff.
Agreed.
Be more fleshed out.
I saw a question in chat from, I think it was Dan's channel, saying, what were your impressions of Polaris based on the flyby and the having it? Well, on the flyby we saw, and then I guess also seeing it in the showroom as well.
Can I take that one? Because
you can. Yeah, go for it.
Before you do, just very quickly.
Yeah, go for it.
What if down the line, when the game is out, 1.0, you want to be an alien? That's where you want your character to be. Like, and
I think
you're going to need the equivalent.
They're not going to do that.
No, they're not. No.
I think they said they want to keep it specifically to you being human, but we've seen that people were able to hack into the character thing, and like CJ did. Do we have the image?
Give me a minute.
Is it cursed?
Like, people are actually able.
It went viral
to create their own aliens, like figuratively in game.
I think it's. I think every MMO. I want to say every MMO ever has a variety of like races from the lore of the game's based around. Elder Scrolls Online is a good example.
Yeah.
Any space. I mean, I never played Eve, but I'm assuming you could in Eve. So like, I never. So yeah, that's another example. Like, I know it's Star Citizen, but the aliens are still citizens of the stars, so it's not like it breaks the law. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's. I think playing as an alien is not a problem, even if it's like down the line. Because I mean, oh yeah, we'll go into CJ's picture in just a second, but oh no, go to CJ's picture now. I can't glaze over there.
Kill on sight, yeah.
Kill on sight, honestly. So Guys, just let you know that CJ actually mentioned that if he's going to CitizenCon, he's actually going to dress up as this character.
I am
He already-
excited.
Oh
Already
my
kind of
god!
looks like that.
I do not want to be near someone looking like that. Oh.
I saw what Data Swami said about using the FOIP to be able to scan your face in would be a great idea.
Yes, like Rainbow Six.
Yeah.
Vegas 1 or 2 did that. That was
FIFA
great.
used to have it as well, and I used to love
Yeah.
Wait,
that.
really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
FIFA used to have it. Like
Game face. It was so good as
Yeah.
well.
I
my
love
game
that.
face, I was sunburnt on the day I did it. And my character looked like he had severe burns. It was horrendous.
It's funny how like loyalty changes for like tech stuff. Like I saw the post about like Meta using like your Facebook and Instagram content to train its AI. I was like, hell no, opt out of that. But then I get an email from CIG going like, oh, can we use your face and put it in game and maybe do whatever we want with it? And I'm just like, yeah, sure, you can have my face. I want to be in game. It's kind of like double standards really, I think.
Well,
but
we
I
asked.
would love to have it.
We asked
You did.
at recent bar season if we could nip around to the corner because they've obviously got their mocap studio where they do all the scanning and stuff. And we said, "Can I get my face scanned?" And they said, "The problem is you're too ordinary." I was like, "But my face isn't in the game. I can't." Joe, you ever see that it's like, I'm rich, I have a girlfriend, I have this job, and you can't have all three on? I can't get like this part the same in.
What about me? Am I too ordinary?
I don't know.
My head's incredibly round. Like, come on, that's got to be something.
We
That's
should-
got to
we-
count
we
for
should-
something.
We need to put a Twitter post and just be like, which one of our faces is not is
Yeah.
the least ordinary enough to get us in the game? Because we need at least one of us in
I
there.
don't know if we want to know the answer to that though.
It could be a terribly depressing post.
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
end.
Just let CIG
Oh.
get the results. We don't want to know them. Although it'd be so bittersweet when you get the call up and it's like, hey, you lost.
It's like, yeah, please, like CIG, take my face.
Yeah.
Put it on something, whatever. Even
Have
if you mold it into an alien, but just have it with my features, I don't care.
Yeah.
Have you guys
Just
Handsome
actually?
Squidward.
Have you guys actually encountered your name in game? I have, so that was pretty cool.
Really?
That was before my time.
Yeah, so like I put in a bounty, and there was something Bowen, and like Bowen's like my surname. It's like I can't remember what the nickname was for him, but it was like
That's
Bow
cool.
selector.
yeah, it was like something Swifty Bowen, and I was like, wait, what? Like, I'm getting that bounty. I'm gonna take my ass to prison. Let's go.
That's great.
I mean, until they start selling salmon on the stalls, I don't think my name's going to be in there. So, because my last name is Salmon like the fish, and yes, I've heard every joke under the sun.
Ha.
Yeah, I love it. Ha!
I mean, one of my ex-girlfriends also shared the same surname, so crazy.
Wait a second. No, hold up. Wait a minute.
But
That was my
yeah,
empty.
CJ saying that he's come across his name, Radley. So yeah, I think that it's an early backer thing. I can't remember if you back
Oh,
the game,
really?
you get your name in the game somehow. But
Oh, I should be in here somewhere then. I backed pretty much day one.
yeah, definitely.
I'll be there somewhere, I'm sure. I've got quite a unique surname though, so I think it'll be.
Which you're
If
not
I saw
going to
it,
disclose here.
No,
oh
he's
yeah,
not.
Arrowsmith. I mean, it's on Instagram. I can say it here. Doesn't matter. I
Okay,
literally
cool.
just go, you find it
I
anywhere.
was going to say
yeah.
you can find me on any of my links. So
Yeah, exactly.
What's your surname again?
Arrowsmith.
Arrowsmith.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
So
Yeah.
I used to play in a band when I was younger, and I called up. I had a local guitar shop near me, and I called them up to ask to reserve some guitar strings. To then go and pick them up after work, and they were like, "Oh yeah, sure. What's your surname?" And I was like, "Oh, it's Aerosmith." And then they went, "Aerosmith? You having a fucking laugh, mate?" And just just hung up on me. And I had to call them back. Yeah, it was a funny moment of them, very very apologetic, like, "Oh, we thought you were pulling our leg, saying your name's Aerosmith." Yeah, it's just it's quite a unique surname. I feel like I'd see it if it was anywhere. It's not
Yeah.
like just Smith. So yeah, I haven't seen it
CJ.
yet.
Soon, TM.
Oh, a
Yeah.
lot of things are soon TM.
Not anymore. Like, I mean, if you were here for 2.6 to 3.0, that was like a whole long time of absolute very little information, and then boom, we're here now, and people think, "Oh, why is this game being so slow?" But if you were there at that
You have
2.6
no
to
idea.
3.0 time, you ain't experienced anything.
I mean, I've only been in the verse since like March 2023, and even in that time, just looking at it and doing my research back, the amount we've received, I think that the way I explained it at Bar Citizen was like, if you'd have told someone like 3 years ago, by the way, in the course of the year, we're going to get pyro, server meshing, minimap updates, new flight model, this, that, the other, like tons of these things, then they just go, yeah, nah, you're pulling my leg. We'll get one update. Will be something like this. It probably won't come out properly. It'll break the game. Whereas now we're actually getting everything. All right, I may be green. All right, I'm a glass half full kind of guy. Okay,
Yeah.
that's just who I am. All right. I witnessed
That-
the end. I witnessed the end of 3.18. I was there at the end, so I came in.
3.18.
When I say they fixed it, obviously fixed is a loose term, but
Yeah. Yeah. It was a bit rough. It was all right. Like 3.17 will still be like one of those patches. It was like everything kind of just worked for a long time. And then for like the last 3 patches, nothing worked. And then the latest patch is actually not bad. It's just they haven't got everything in it. But you know, we're hurtling towards 3.24 and we're hurtling towards 4.0. So I'm very excited. CitizenCon's going to be amazing. I'm sure we're
can't
all
wait.
going to have our mind blown. I'm so happy that we're all going to be there and we can sit down together on the front row or wherever we can manage to get seated and actually see it all live. And because I remember feeling that FOMO watching it live on Twitch last year, and I was like, oh God, I wish I was there. And when Chris was on the stage at the end, they showed the Squadron trailer and he was like welling up, and I was like, man, like that would have been such an amazing moment to be part of that. So I'm so
Yeah.
glad that we've got that in the UK this year and that we're all going to be there, and it's just going to be such a great few nights of just like being with your mates, like-minded people, having a few drinks. I can't wait. It's going to be a fantastic event.
So,
And yeah,
how many of you guys have been to CitizenCon before?
I've never been.
never.
I haven't.
One Duck?
This is my first.
Oh, this is gonna be great.
When
This
I
is gonna be
spoke
my
to them,
third.
when I spoke to them at Bar Citizen, they were like, "You have no idea. You're going to walk through those doors and it's going to blow your mind." They were like, "We've gone even bigger than last year's." And even looking at last year's, I was like, "That looks sick."
Yeah.
And the fact that they're going to go above and beyond, they're like pulling all the stops out for it.
Yeah.
Oh my word!
I can't wait.
It was kind of crazy for me at the. I think it was 20.
Let it Spectre.
It's like, take care, Spectre. I think it was like 2017, Frankfurt, or 2018. I can't remember, but that was my first experience of it. And like, but I was only just learning to speak German at that time, so I managed to get into the line. I was meeting all the German backers and stuff like that, and it was really cool. But we managed to get in the front row, got the golden ticket for the Saber Raven. My friend flew over from the UK to join, and like we were just all sat in the row. We managed to get front and second row, and it was just incredible. And then they did that fly through of like Area 18, showing how it was going to look with the space station there,
Yeah.
and it just looked insane. And I was looking at like the other backers, like the diehard backers that were in the front row next to me. There was people like frigging crying, man, because like
Yeah.
they were watching this, and you feel so connected to not only CIG but like to everyone around you. It's one of the best experiences that I've ever had the pleasure to experience. Like it's so cool, and this one has got 4,000 people coming to it or more. I can't remember what the numbers are, but it's going to be huge, and I just hope that they manage to keep that same experience, even though it's running over 2 days now and not just one like it used to.
Yeah.
And hopefully Mark Hamill or Henry Cavill might be there. So
Any of
Maybe
them.
both.
Even
both.
John Rhys Davies, man. I bet.
Oh, yeah.
You know that I just I mean, the cast. I'm not sure how much it would cost for them to get the entire cast of Squadron 42 to come on down, but I imagine it'd be quite hefty.
Yes.
Mm.
Me and my wife would fight each other to the death for Henry Cavill.
Right, okay. So, approaching that time. It's been 2 hours. I know that people need to jump off.
This was meant to be a short. What the hell? We're giving
Yeah.
them too much. Like, what's
Yeah.
going on?
Everything
It
is
spoils
2
the
hours.
children.
So, we're gonna look at who we can raid. But before we do, is there any burning questions from you guys? Not just chat.
Oh,
From us. We were about to get.
I have one burning question for you three.
Okay.
We were describing like those discount packages with like the base profession start lines. Medical, cargo, salvaging. We'll even add professions that aren't in, but we know will be in at some point: farming, science, research, and crafting. If you were coming to this game, had no ships, what would be the baseline profession that you would choose? And you don't have to go into detail about what it is, but in your imagination, because I want to keep this question quick, what is that profession that you would choose to start from scratch without a ship?
Pirate crew.
Who wants to go first? Oh, there you go.
Pirate's not a profession.
Engineering.
It's a way of life.
Engineering.
Gar.
Nice.
I'd either mining or salvage because it would mean I would get out and explore.
Nice.
Hmm.
For me, it'd be probably. It's so hard, but I think I'll choose crafting, whatever that entails.
Because everyone needs it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Right, you've all been absolutely fantastic. Right, but I need one last thing. We're gonna go and we're gonna raid. I don't know if everyone can see this. Now,
Jump in there.
at the very top is Gabs, but she is doing a rerun, so
Drama.
that doesn't count. So we're not doing that.
That does not count.
Now,
Put the rerun down.
do we
Get
recognize
into that.
anyone here? I mean, this guy's playing Paperboy. Is it Paperboy? Back in the day.
Server meshing preview. Yes.
There's a lot of server
back
meshing
up.
preview.
Yeah, but who's the top one that comes up for server meshing?
Famoso.
Did you say Samosa?
Do we get a preview? No.
You got expat. Expat Brat is streaming Star Citizen and
can we not raid someone that's got cool in their name? Like, I feel that's beneath us.
Okay.
You cool by name, cool by nature. Is it though? Is it though? Really?
That's not Star Citizen. Auntie Cass. I've seen this porno before. Right, Nebel TV, Xenothreat. I don't know. Tourette syndrome. There's nothing about Star Citizen there. Like, why is that? Unless it's like
Sweet Anita. Yeah, that's not Star Citizen, man.
I learned about Mummy Brown and bath salts.
What was that? Oh, we're not raiding him. Not a chance.
There's
Astro. Should we go from one podcast to another podcasty type?
Oh, Astropub. Yes.
Yeah.
He's got 125. Right, what are we saying?
Paul is fantastic.
Rule Britannia. Should we do it again?
No.
Oh, hold on.
Greetings from over the pond. I don't know.
Gib ship.
Over the pond. Rule
we are the pond dwellers.
Britannia. So the rule is that when we raid a US stream, all UK guys, we have to say Rule Britannia.
Yeah, but half the guys with us aren't even like we got a guy from South Africa.
No, but he could jump on the train. He could be like,
Rule Britannia.
I rule all of the Britannias. Okay, so thank you ever so much from all of us. You've been fantastic, and we look forward to seeing you again soon. We are still working on when we're going to do schedules and whatnot, and when people are available, because I've had to reach out and tell people it's not Sunday, it's now Wednesday, it's not Wednesday, it's Thursday. We're here, we did it. Yeah, we'll get down to it at some point. But thank you ever so much from all of us, and good night. There's a timer. There they go. 3, 2, 1.